you feel good about where David is at going into practice today?
Yeah, well, today, first of all, we're only going to jog through, and then the plan all along was to give him off Wednesday, so he will not practice today. But that was the plan regardless of whether we were going to have a real practice or not. But just think that coming off what we came off of, kind of the cumulative effect of all the practice, just our player loads are quite high for where we are right now, and just thought it'd be best to use today as more a jog through tempo.
So this is also a function of the studying you did, because you were taking the blame on Monday for Sammy's injury. But this is the result of what you guys kind of found?
Yeah.
Will this be a 1 week thing, or do you anticipate it being, I mean, I guess what I'm asking, is this because of the cumulative?
We're fluid around here, man, right?
So it
We're
could
fluid.
change next week.
It could change, it totally, yeah. But no, just where we are right now, I think that's why I have a hard time doing schedules too far in advance, because I just want to be able to change them if you know, you always got to have a feel for your team and where you're at, and that's part of it. And this is a pretty fluid business, so you got to be able to adjust on the fly, and we just think that's what's best for our team right now.
Dave had said after the game, hey, I feel good because I'm pumped full of adrenaline. How do you think he feels now? Have you got any indication on just, how he feels several days out from it?
I haven't had that direct conversation with him, so we gave the guys off Monday, and then Tuesday was their own day off. They just had to come in and get a flush workout, and obviously he checked in with the training room, but I have not had a conversation with him in that regard to see where he's at. But just in my interactions with him, he seemed like he was in a good mood, so I'm hopeful that he's going to be all right, but we'll see how he responds and how he does tomorrow.
Any short or long-term concern with Jair?
I think you're always concerned about guys. So, but yeah, again, day to day, I would say.
Yeah, what'd you think of Pat being able to be the NFC Special Teams Player of the Week after everything he did on Sunday?
Yeah, he was huge in that game, man. Really did a great job of help controlling the field position, and anytime you're able to get 5 punts down inside the 15-yard line was pretty remarkable. I thought our whole punt unit as a whole did a really nice job. Our flyers, obviously Keyshawn Nixon had a nice play on the one we downed on the 2-yard line. Rudy Ford was flying down there making plays, so and the protection was good. So I thought everybody did a really nice job.
Small sample size, but your third down defense is a whole lot better right now than it was last year, I think, first in the league. What do you kind of attribute that to? Talk to a lot of the same players.
Yeah, I think number one, you're always talking about the rush being tied to the coverage, or vice versa, and are complementing each other, and so we've been able to get pressure on the quarterback, and we're doing a nice job on the back end. And I think, quite honestly, it seemed like, and I don't know the exact numbers, but it seems like there's a lot more third and long situations for the offense, and that's going to translate into a better third down percentage, I would say 99% of the time. So the first and second down efficiency seems to be much better than it was in the past. But like I told the guys today, you're only as good as your last game. So we got to continue to improve and get better, and we're going to have a great challenge again this week. I think New England's offense, I mean, they've been able to move the football, and so it'll be a good test for our guys.
You've seen a lot of 8-man box in Tampa, and you ran into it quite a few times. How important is that to do with your, with what you have at running back to still run into those boxes? Is that ever challenging as a play caller, knowing that they're loading the box and still running into it?
Yeah, totally. It's a major challenge, but I think it's important. First of all, you're talking about two of our most explosive playmakers, and you want to give them opportunities, and there was some where it looked like we were going to have some good looks at the runs, but the run solution looked pretty good too, and so now you're just you're kind of damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. So, but I think that we got to give those guys opportunities, especially when you're playing against a front like that, because if they know you're going to pass the ball all the time, then the pass rush is going to tee off, and it's going to be tough sledding.
Is that different for you than your experience in the past as a play caller? Because usually when you see the 8-man box, it's pretty easy to throw the ball, right? But it just because of having Jones and Dillon, does it feel differently from calling plays and knowing you have those guys?
Yeah, I think every game's a little bit different, but certainly trying to not abandon it, learn from past mistakes maybe, and not abandon it totally.
What's the biggest challenge in going up against a Bill Belichick coach team?
You just never know what you're going to get, and he's the best of the best, regardless of sport. And it's not a shocker as to why he's won so many Super Bowls and why he's won so many games. And he does a great job of taking what you do best away from you and keeping you off balance. They can play a lot of different looks out of the same personnel groupings, and I don't know, he's been doing it at a high level for a really long time.
Some coaches, go ahead.
I was going to ask, what was everyday life like for you in 1991 when he was in his first year as an NFL head coach?
Yeah, I don't know, I can't remember. I was like 12 years old.
Some coaches have what they do, and that's what they do. Other coaches kind of adapt week to week. Is that more along where he is, where what they showed for 3 weeks might be completely different than what they're going to show this week?
Yeah, I think you just never quite know. I mean, yeah, you study the tape, but then you look back in previous years, and that is the challenge against when you go against a team coached by him, is you don't know, and you can try to make the best educated guess, but you better be ready to adapt on game day if they present a different look. I remember how challenging it was going against him, back when I was in Atlanta, played against that defense. And then when I was in Tennessee, we played against him as well. Have not gone against him too many times throughout the course of my career. So, but some of our other guys were in that division, and they would just talk about all the challenges, and so that has been, I guess, somewhat beneficial, but it also could have you chasing ghosts as well.
Along those lines, you were saying on Monday that you guys as a staff, you guys were a little frustrated in the second half and saying, hey, they're out coaching us because we can't get anything going. As a head coach and as a play caller, is figuring out adjustments in-game on the fly the biggest challenge for a coach, and is it the thing that you work the hardest to get better at because it's so crucial to your success, or am I off base?
No, I think it is a challenge, especially when you're going against one of the best defenses in the National Football League, because you can try things and it may or may not work, and then you look like a dope if it doesn't work anyway. So, I think 100%.
Speaking about not knowing, Coach Belichick hasn't confirmed whether or not Mac Jones is playing. How do you prep when you don't know who the quarterback is going to be necessarily?
Well, you just got to do the best job you can, and it doesn't matter. I mean, Brian Hoyer is a guy that I got a lot of respect for. My brother was on that staff in Cleveland when he was there as a starter, and then they had him in San Francisco as well. So, I think that I remember watching a lot of the cut-ups from, and this is a long time ago, from the 2014 season, and, you could make the case and take all his great plays that he made, and you thought he was one of the top quarterbacks in the league. So he's been doing it for a really long time, and he's going to know their system inside and out, and that always presents some challenges in terms of when you have a veteran versus a more inexperienced player, although I don't want to take anything away from Mac. Mac's been unbelievable, obviously, having a Pro Bowl year last year and doing some great things this year as well. So whoever's out there, you just got to adjust and adapt, and it's a little bit different than when you're going against a guy that is a real mobile quarterback, and then you have to go to a pocket passer. So I wouldn't expect a whole lot of difference within their game plan on how they want to attack us.
When you have a left tackle rotation and one of those left tackles is not practicing every day in the game week, do you save the first team reps for Dave on the days that he practices and Josh gets them on the off days, or do you split them 50-50 when they both practice?
I think it's different every day. It just depends. But certainly Dave wasn't taking every first team rep when he was practicing. Josh got in there quite a bit as well.
Matt, what do you think of the start Rashawn has gotten off to these first couple games?
Yeah, he's been lights out. Yeah, he definitely is a disruptive force, and then you combine him with what Kenny and Preston and Jay Reed have all been able to do. You know, they've all contributed, and they kind of feed off each other. So it's the best when you have multiple guys that can get to the quarterback, because somebody's going to get a one-on-one, and you got to hope that they are able to deliver, or at least, you know, create some chaos in the pocket to get the quarterback to move off his spot, and then maybe somebody else is there to clean it up.
He obviously broke out last year, but have you seen him elevate his game or his presence in different ways this season, Rashawn?
Yeah, Rashawn's definitely a tone setter for us. You can feel his energy out there, whether we're at practice, certainly on game days as well. But just as a guy that just kind of goes to work each and every day, and it's been really cool to watch his development over from his rookie year to where he is now. And it hasn't come by accident. It's because he puts in the work. You can always count on that from Rashawn, that he's going to grind and push himself, and which in turns it kind of ups the intensity of everybody around him. So love having him on our football team.
How much does London impact this week?
I
mean, as far as
nothing.
scheduling goes,
Nothing.
nothing. Okay.
You look too far. You look ahead in this league, you get your ass whipped. Bottom
I
line.
was just meaning from a scheduling perspective and all that. But
No.
nothing. Okay.